ever watched on TV was on Channel 5. It was Rendell Munro, the boxing bin man. It was he came out in all the gear, high vises and all the bin men kind of, they all just looked like bin men to be honest, and it was just it was a great fight, and I just ended up loving boxing from there on. My first amateur boxing club was Broadwood Boxing Club in Cumbernauld. It was a great boxing club. I led my trade down there with Davy Maguire, Wilson Docherty, Drew Docherty, and then they kind of followed me here to go siphon off, so it's been good. First pair of boxing gloves were not owned, but if you go into the old Broadwood gym, when it was for sparring or even for gloves, you would just everybody would be like, alright, everybody go get their bandages on. Everybody would run to the big box where all the gloves were kept, and it was the ones that I used to always try and go for were either the twins or the top 10s. They were the business end back then. Then first gloves I properly had for sparring and that was twins, even though Muay Thai gloves right enough, but I didn't have a clue back then. I had the dragons that on them. I just thought it was cool. My first passion outside of boxing is absolutely nothing, to be honest. I don't actually really do much apart from boxing. I get up in the morning, go to work. Well, I get up in the morning, run, go to work, training, and it just seems to be on a repeat cycle. But maybe just spending time with like family and that, and just kind of chilling out with my friends. So my first role model in boxing anyway would have been 100% Manny Pacquiao. Absolutely love the man. The style, the aggressiveness, the speed. Just I remember, because my brother, we always did, I always loved Ricky Hatton as well, but I remember when he was fighting Pacquiao, I was on the Pacquiao side. Just loved him. And then my brother was a big Ricky Hatton fan, he was like, no Andy. And then when that knockout was an absolute belter. It was a really good one. But weirdly enough, a couple of people always thought I was half Philippine because the Malaysian flag is very similar, and I had it on my shorts when I was an amateur at one point, so everybody thought I was is that why you love Manny Pacquiao? And I was no, I just like him. Maybe it's just because we're both Asian. So first professional fight I attended was actually one of the St Andrews Sporting Club's boxing events. It was Cash Farouk versus Jamie Wilson when he won the British, because I was always a skimpy man, not being able to afford to go to any boxing events back in the day, so that was my first ever professional boxing event where I was invited. My first ring box song as a professional was at the St Andrews Sporting Club, and it was Bits and Pieces. Didn't even get to choose it, and I absolutely fucking despise the song. Hate it. It was overplayed, man, at parties, and it was just worst song of all time. And also my first amateur one was the Guru Josh project, and I used to love the song as well, but when I actually started boxing, I despised it, and it was the first ever ring box song. So maybe it's a sign. My first pro fight was at the St Andrews Sporting Club, date unknown, back in the day, and it was against I also don't remember his name yet. Just Hungarian boy for the St Andrews Sporting Club. The fight went pretty well for me. First round, I came out I actually ended up getting promoted to the main event because everybody else ended up pulling out. I think it was like Martin Harkins, his opponent pulled out, and somebody else's opponent pulled out. So I ended up main event, which is always a positive in your pro debut. But I ended up stopping the boy in the fourth round, the last round, with a body shot. So it was a win-win. The first thing I eat weighing in now is, my brother always preps it all for me, and it's like veggies, rice and like some plain ass chicken. So it's actually depressing. But recently we went for a Nando's, which was quite nice actually, and we ended up meeting Willie Lemond and all that as well, the most recent weigh-in. So we all ended up, turns out we were all at the fort. Martin was there, and Martin Crossan was there too. But before, it used to just be, see, to be honest, I probably just ate like some noodles or something like that, man. Just like, but now it's chicken and rice of some sort, and victory meal wise is always after the fights. It's got to be a wee greasy KFC. Right enough, I didn't get one this time because it was close, right enough, because it was like super late by the time I got out, but I got one like 2 days later, so it's kind of the same. My first sponsor as a professional boxer would have been a company owned by my friend's dad, actually, called Machines to Clean. But right enough, he doesn't sponsor me anymore, so. But they all came at the same time. There was like 3 of them. There was Machines to Clean, my friend, and also Greg Taylor, owned by him and his dad. Matt Tylan, very good company, and Julie Kavanagh, a sports therapist who also works out here, so she gives me free massages and that, so it's a win-win. First time I was recognised publicly as a boxer was actually just after this most recent fight. I was the next morning, obviously I was probably going for breakfast or something like that, but driving up, I was parked at this roundabout, just at the very top at Craiglang roundabout, if you know Cumbernauld at all, and I was just parked at the front of the lights, and somebody was obviously driving by, and they've obviously recognised me here from the TV, you know, and then they just drive by and went, and I was like, so I'm just in my car, and I was like, thanks. So that's the first time I ever got recognised as a boxer anyway, apart from the work, probably work up the fort sometimes, and the security guards are saying, you boxing the weekend? I was like, aye mate, I was boxing the weekend. It was like, you didn't tell anybody you're a boxer? And I was like, well, I don't really need to tell anybody. I was like, I guess you'll find out. My first fight outside the boxing ring, well, I used to get bullied as a wee guy because I was obviously, I'm half Chinese and that, so I was like a wee tiny guy, so that's why I started boxing, to kind of defend myself. I was in primary school, ended up patching it because, I don't know, I must have got bored of it, and I went back, well, I ended up going back, probably in about 3rd or 4th year at school. I was playing football with my friends, and there was obviously some other people there. We were obviously playing football, and I'm terrible as well, I'm absolute jargon, proper monkey nuts man at football, so I ended up beating this boy, and so he started giving me all the racial slur. He was going, hi, fuck you, blah blah blah, give me all the racist stuff, man. I was, who the fuck you talk to? And he was like, and he was like, hey, you want to go? And I absolutely pieced this boy up. I mean, just straight punches, it was just like, bah, 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 bah. And I absolutely destroyed him. His face was an absolute mess, and I ended up going home that night, and then my brother was like, hey, you were fighting or something like that, and then I was like, hi, and I was like, I actually pieced this boy up, and he was like, Andy, I think you should go back to the boxing, because I actually wanted originally to go to gymnastics, but my brother was like, Andy, you can't do gymnastics, that's a bit suspect. And I was like, alright, I'll go back and I'll join the boxing club, so I went back to boxing.